You can imagine Scotland if it wasn't subject to Anglicisation and cultural assimilation, the BBC for 100 years, and all the propaganda we've had for British press and everything for a couple of 100 years, and the educational process, as you mentioned, there's no Scots language taught. There's a bit of Gaelic now, but there's no Scots language taught.
Nope.
There's no Scots language higher qualification school. There's no Scots language degree. There's no Scots language teachers dedicated to the subject. And most of the teachers in our schools now didn't have Scots. The bourgeois middle class, professional classes discarded the language, and most of the teachers in certain parts of Scotland aren't even Scottish, so they didn't have any Scots words that we have. So they're communicating with Scots bairns in schools in an alien language to begin with, and which is a problem, and that leads into the attainment gap. The fact remains that the universities are a distant dream for most Scots now.
Aye.
There's some data that it might well be less than 25% of Scots actually get into Scottish universities, which is half the rate in most developed countries. So the global elites come to Scotland to study, and there's places made available for them, but not for Scots. So this goes into that reality that your own people aren't educated as they should be. Because look at our economic growth is static. Our GDP per capita is a third of Norway's, half of Denmark's. And we've got more resources than them. I did a study recently showing our GDP per capita at $40,000 is half of what it should be. And that's even a lot less than Ireland and Switzerland and Norway. But with our resources, we should at least be double the GDP. And that's equivalent to a loss of £150 billion a year from the economy. That's massive. 3 times as the Hollywood budget. So the cost of colonialism, if you like, I would estimate, if you look at that GDP per capita, is about 150 billion a year. That's what's being sucked out of this economy through interception of all the wealth.